Introduction. USA Wrestling's National Coaches Education Program gathers and shares the best information to help coaches and parents provide our wrestlers with a positive experience both on and off the mats. Frederick Douglass said, "It's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men." Unfortunately, with youth athletes today, they're not being taught the proper athletic skills or the proper technical skills at the right time. What we want to do through this course is help you determine the right timing to teach your athletes the proper skills so that high school coaches and college coaches won't have to provide remedial training so that they can focus on getting your kids to the next level. Right now in America, there are about 2.5 million volunteer sports coaches. Less than 10% of these coaches receive any type of formal training. What you learn today and continue to learn through coaching will impact the lives of the young people you work with. So what's the difference between an artist and a wrestling coach? The artist can throw the clay away if he doesn't like what he creates. We don't have that option.
"40 million youth in this country play sports." Think about a child you know. Imagine that child playing a sport. Who has the biggest influence on their sports experience? Coaches and parents. Together, they can teach goals, resiliency, integrity, and teamwork. Or they can ruin a child's experience through negativity and a win-at-all-cost mentality. That's why 70% of kids quit organized sports by age 13, because it's just not fun. What if someone could help coaches and parents keep our kids engaged in sports?
We hope that this course is that course that allows you to help keep your kids engaged in sports longer. So let's start with some additional information. Right now, 9 out of 10 youth sports teams are being coached by a parent who has a child on the team. Unfortunately, there are many well-publicized instances where conflicts on the field are carried home and can negatively affect the parent-child relationship. Here's a quote from a young lady. "I just can't take it anymore, coach," a talented but unperforming player said a few years back. "I think I'm done playing." The coach said that his mind went through all of the reasons why this might be happening. Is this young athlete burnout? Maybe they've got some other interests. Maybe it was a team dynamic issue. Maybe the coach was too hard on this child. What could it possibly be? But the young girl said, "It's my dad. He loves me, and I know he only wants the best for me, but he just can't stop coaching me. It's constant coaching in the car, from the sidelines, each and every game and practice. I can't play when he's around. He insists on coming to every game, every road trip, you name it. It's like it's more important to him than it is to me." Sadly, this story is all too common. It's a story about well-intentioned parents that want nothing but the best for their children. They just don't always know how to express it. They love their kids, they just don't always love them in a helpful way. Again, the key statistic was that 7 out of 10 of our kids will quit competitive organized sports by age 13. We want to be able to recruit more kids into our sport, but we also want to make sure that they're enjoying it and they stay in the sport as long as they possibly can and as long as they want to. Sadly, though, in most youth sports, kids and families are asked to do more and more at younger and younger ages. It's called early specialization. This is especially true for the kids who show some early aptitude in a sport. But many of these athletes, the ones who at a young age are our most dedicated and talented ones, tend to burn out and drop out of sports as well. The number one reason that kids quit sports is because they're no longer fun. And in 2014, Amanda Visick did some research with several youth athletes and asked them why they played sports. Here's some information. 9 out of 10 said that the number one reason that they were playing sports was because it was fun. Are your kids having fun when they play sports? So let's talk about what fun is as defined by kids. Kids define fun as trying their best, whether they win or lose, being treated respectfully by coaches, parents, and teammates. Do you notice this in your practice room? Do your kids get treated with the same respect that the coaches and parents expect to get from the kids? Do they all get playing time, an opportunity to show what they've been learning? Competition, kids love it, both in practice environments and outside of practice environments. Competition, the games, really makes the sport a lot more enjoyable. Of the 81 characteristics that kids listed for fun, trying your best was the number one, followed by being treated with respect, getting playing time, playing well as a team or that team bond, getting along with your teammates, and just exercising and being physically active. Those round out the top 6. Let's take a look at where winning showed up. Number 48 out of 81, so less than half, in the bottom half of the survey, kids said that winning was much less of a priority than simply having a chance to even play. So what's the solution? Your athletes are never too old or too talented for us to just ask the question, are you enjoying yourself? Just ask the question. You can adapt your coaching based on the answer. Chances are, the more kids enjoy themselves, the better they play. The more they play, and the harder they will work. And hard work, we all know, can be fun.
Hi, I'm Todd.
Hi, Todd.
I bet the farm on my son playing in the NBA. Literally, I took out a second mortgage on the family farm to pay for basketball camps. Things were looking great for a while. Justin made varsity in middle school, but then...
Did he get injured?
Worse. He stopped growing. He's 5'5". Genetics is a cruel mistress. I can't even look my own son in the eye now, and it's not because he's so darn little.
Is it because you're going to lose the farm?
No. Because he's playing on the JV team.
But is he having fun?
I never asked.
Maybe you should, Todd.
We're with you, Todd. As a parent, you just want to see your child succeed.
Our Daniel could have played in the NHL. He went to all the day camps, straight into night camp, hockey school, hockey.
Hockey?
Twice the hockey and no school.
We thought he was the next Wayne Gretzky. He wasn't even the next Brent Gretzky. Hasn't been on skates in 15 years.
Early sports specialization can actually hurt a child's overall athletic development. And by encouraging their son to only play hockey, they may have actually hurt his chances for succeeding. But what is Daniel doing now?
David doesn't like to speak about it.
It might help to share.
My son is an astronaut. I still have all his hockey gear.
He still keeps his skates sharpened.
He's still draft eligible.
He's 34 years old.
Gordie Howe played until he's 50.
You need to get over it.
I know!
Admitting it is the first step.
Have you noticed any of that in your family or on your team? So let's ask a question. Why does the average teenage boy play 17 hours of video games per week? Well, a lot of kids quit sports and they look for a place where their every action and every mistake isn't scrutinized by an adult. Do you notice that in the practice environment, where every mistake a kid makes can be scrutinized by an adult? Our greatest athletes develop in environments where, one, they do not fear mistakes. It's important for kids at a young age to make mistakes so they can learn from it. Number two, they need to be encouraged to try and to fail so that they learn what type of efforts lead to what kind of outcomes. It's called self-efficacy. They also understand that failure is a necessary part of the learning and growth process. So let's take a look at embracing failure and risk for young athletes. Instead of only praising the result of a successful action, like winning a tournament, let's praise what kids do immediately after they make a mistake. Things like way to hustle back to the center of the mat after they give up a takedown, or way to keep trying to learn that move if they've been struggling with picking up a new move or a new skill. Great job wrestling back for third, maybe after they'd had a tough loss in the quarterfinals or semifinals. Create an environment where kids know it's safe to fail, and then the kids can learn from their mistakes. And remember, respect is one of the top things kids ask for when they say they're having fun in a sport. And that's a two-way street. Here's some information from another study in 2014 where children listed the top 5 characteristics of a great coach. What came in at number 1? Respect and encouragement from their coach. Go to any tournament today and you'll see numbers of examples of children who are being disrespected because they take a bad shot or because they get caught in a move and maybe get pinned. Sports are already very hard. It takes thousands of hours and years of practice to become proficient. Yet, sometimes we expect our 9-year-olds to make the right decision every time. When they make mistakes, many coaches and parents treat them in a way that those parents would never allow a teacher or maybe another adult to treat their child. And since respect is a two-way street, let's make sure that we respect the effort and the focus and the courage that it takes for a child to play sports, especially an individual sport like wrestling. Let's give them the respect that they've earned for simply being in the arena or being willing to come into the practice room to train. Let's treat them with the same respect that you would demand that you be treated with.